Texas A&M, thank you. You are playing somebody formidable this year. You are finally playing somebody this year. You joined the SEC in 2012, had Johnny Manziel for 2 years, so that's 2012, 13, 14. That's 3 seasons. That's 4 out-of-conference games per season. That's 12 games. And you've loaded the non-conference slate with a lot of SMU, a lot of Sam Houston State, a lot of Lamar, Rice. You pretty much play those teams like they're division foes. Finally, Arizona State. The last time you played anyone tough out of the league, it was ironically against Arkansas when you were a member of the Big 12 back in 2010 and 11. Mark Rogers TV looking at every conference schedule in America, and we're ranking the schedules within the conference 1 through 10, 12, or 14, and then we're going to throw them all together and rank them all 1 through 66, so Power 5 plus BYU and Notre Dame. So we come to Texas A&M, and it's the 5th toughest schedule in the SEC. And is the SEC the best conference in America? Probably. I believe it's the deepest. I think the Pac-12 is close. And the Big Ten is top-heavy, but right there at the top. Anyway, back to this with the SEC Western Division probably being the toughest division. Therefore, Texas A&M, on the strength of playing in the best division in college football, most likely has the 5th toughest schedule in what's probably the toughest conference with the toughest schedules overall. But out of conference, SEC teams need to buck up and play somebody generally. Kudos to South Carolina and a few other teams out there that play some tough non-conference games. Multiple tough non-conference games. For Texas A&M, I love the first game. I've got to watch this game. Arizona State coming to Kyle Field to take on the Aggies. Must-see game. Athleticism all over the place. Love what Texas A&M does through the air with Kyle Allen and a plethora of talented receivers, what I would consider to be the best wide receiver core in college football, against very athletic Arizona State team and a very talented secondary. So I love that game. I guess we can't expect the Aggies to play 2 tough games, or at least a somewhat difficult East Carolina type game. Can't do that. Ball State, Nevada, Western Carolina. Pretty typical SEC fare there. So again, got the tough non-conference game. Okay, who do they play out of division within the SEC? Well, they got Vandy, which there is such a separation between everybody else and Vandy right now, unless we see James Franklin show up again. At this point, Vandy is like playing different football than everybody else in the SEC. Kentucky's the second worst team, and they competed. Vandy did not. So Texas A&M gets the light touch in Vandy, and they also have a game against South Carolina, which, of course, they dismantled South Carolina. That's their rivalry game, non-division, which makes no sense to me, Texas A&M and South Carolina, and they don't all have to be paired up. But until I officially formulate the schedule, I'll stop right there. So it's South Carolina, it's Vandy, so it's a pretty good light touch for Texas A&M. It's the one game against Arizona State non-conference, so 1 out of 4 ain't bad for Texas A&M. And then it's the brutal SEC Western Division. So it's the 5th most difficult schedule in the SEC. We'll go to our top 4 right here on Mark Rogers TV.